you're probably wondering why that happened to him. Well, first of all, it's because he owes the shark loans money, and this is one of the big problems of overconsumption and buying things you don't really need. Okay, so why it would happen, like why would he go to and borrow money from the loan sharks, is because he wants to buy something but it's too expensive, it's out of his budget, he can't buy it. Just like, for example, he wants to buy this Lego model, but he doesn't have the funds for it, so he goes and finds the loan sharks. One big problem about this is that the loan sharks, they're not a reliable source of money, and that's one of the big problems of overconsumption. The second problem is the mentality of people. They shouldn't buy something that's out of budget. Let's say for this guitar, it's 6,000 ringgit, but I've only got a 2,000 ringgit budget. So what should we do? We shouldn't go and buy something that's out of our budget, because it would lead us down to debt, and that would bring us to the situation we saw him in, which is ended up in killed. But that's just an exaggeration. But we still shouldn't be over consuming and buying things over our budget. Another bad thing about overconsumption would be that we might fall into the dark side of the financial world, which is like drugs and stuff like that. Well, another thing that's bad is that could also lead you down to loan sharks and inadvertently would kill you in the process. So that's like a big no, and like overconsumption is a big problem in the society nowadays, because it's all over social media. You see people buying stuff this, buying stuff that, and it's not really good because you can't buy it but you want to buy it, so you go down and borrow money and you get a massive debt, and overall it's just not a very good thing to do. So that's just overconsumption. But another form of overconsumption is buying things you don't need. So for example, let's say you wouldn't need this comb, but you bought it anyways, and after you bought this one comb, you bought two combs, because why not? So that's another problem, because they're so cheap and you wouldn't think much of it, but do you really need it? No. So that's another type of overconsumption. Another example I could bring up is that why buy one toy car when you can buy two, or you can buy three, or possibly even four? But that's besides the point. The point is, if you don't need it, don't buy it, because the more you buy, the more you don't need said item. And that's basically the bads of overconsumption, the negatives. But what are the positives of overconsumption, you might ask? There are none. You shouldn't buy what you don't need. You shouldn't buy something that's out of your budget. And that's overall why he got killed, bruh. You shouldn't be like him.